300,000 Instagram followers the following message.
These are operations international finance groups, mostly American, have been organizing for years. They're manipulating us without wanting to sound paranoid. The vaccines they're working on are a part of it. No to microchip implants for everyone. No to Bill Gates' operations. No to 5G.
This is completely false. By the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Firstly, there's the race to find a vaccine against COVID, a scientific endeavor to which Bill Gates has donated $250 million since the start of the pandemic. Then there's the Digital ID 2020 project, which aims to provide the world's estimated 1 billion undocumented people with digital ID and health cards. And finally, research conducted by MIT to inject vaccines in a special ink subcutaneously, a sort of tattoo that can only be seen using infrared light and can tell who is and isn't vaccinated. Now, those three projects do all exist, but they have nothing to do with...
Oh, yeah. It's a big move at an office that could change the way a lot of Americans work. A tech company in Wisconsin is offering to implant tiny microchips into its employees.
Not just the chips could allow people to unlock office doors, make purchases. Rebecca, come on here.
So many questions about this, Robin and Michael. Good morning. We asked a lot of them. This is the first American company to ever try this. 1 week from today, many of the employees, including the CEO, will voluntarily have the microchips implanted into their bodies, and they're calling it, I'm not kidding here, a chips and salsa party. Oh! This morning, like a scene straight out of 007.
So you can keep an eye on me?
Employees at one Wisconsin tech company, 3 Square Market, willingly making that fantasy a reality, implanting their own bodies with microchips. What did the employees say when you brought this idea to them?
Half of them actually within 5 seconds says yes.
CEO Todd Westby, along with 50 of his 80 colleagues, even his wife and kids, preparing to implant these chips, the size of a grain of rice, between their forefingers and thumbs, so they can do everything from buy snacks in the break room to log in the morning to unlocking doors with just the swipe of a hand. What did it take to persuade the holdouts?
Basically, we had to explain to them there's no tracking of the information. It's not GPS or anything like that.
The radio frequency technology in the devices, approved by the FDA, will be inserted with a small needle by a licensed technician. Some internet experts warn that the convenience could come at a cost.
Many things start off with the best of intentions, but sometimes intentions turn. We've survived thousands of years as a species without being microchipped. Is there any particular need to do it now?
Participation is optional, and some are holding out.
There's always the fear of infection, so it's the unknown right now.
But many are excited to give the new technology a try.
I think it's kind of cool. Just pop it up there and it'll work.
Just pop it up there. It's that simple. So to give you a sense, here's a grain of rice. The chips will be inserted like this grain of rice right here between your thumb and your forefinger. And most of the employees have opted in. It is voluntary.
One size fits all, I guess. Now, what happens if you get the implant and then you're like, I don't want this anymore?
So they told me, in case this happens, you pop it out. You literally push it out the way you would push a splinter out of your hand. Yes.
Okay.
Are you on board?
No.
Without cash is fast becoming the norm.
I pay even tiny amounts with my card.
It's just easier.
It's becoming easier and easier.
Will cash soon be a thing of the past?
When I think about it, I pay more without cash than with. We cannot use cash money in Sweden anymore.
Around the world, financial corporations, politicians, and leading economists are working to do away with cash.
I'd see a future where you will be able to hold digital euro, digital dollars directly at the central bank.
Who stands to profit from a world without money? And who will be the losers? beneficiaries of this development are located on the other side of the Atlantic. Conventional credit card companies like Visa and MasterCard, but also new payment service providers like Google or Apple and Amazon. The online retailer has now opened a number of supermarkets without checkout. Customers simply scan their phones at the entrance. After that, cameras track what items they select. Facial recognition technology allows the system to identify each customer and bill their credit card as they leave. The receipt for their purchases then appears in their Amazon Go app. No cash. It's a trend that's growing in popularity worldwide. Last year, Visa ran a campaign in which it offered 50 restaurants $10,000 each if they agreed to stop accepting cash.
I don't know.
Michael Ryan wasn't able to apply as his restaurant had already gone cashless.
You ready to go? We don't serve it. I've been in this business a long time, and I feel like there's a lot of theft when you have cash around. So when there's cash in the safe, downstairs, in the office, behind the counter, everyone's dipping in, everyone's sharing. You share your drawer with another employee, there's cash always goes missing. So it's just like this eliminated theft issue. So that's off the table. But more importantly, it's like today I was late to work. The place can still open because they don't need to go to the safe, get cash, set up the store. You can just arrive and open up. So it's from an operational standpoint, it's a breeze. It's super.
They get you in the door with a free week.
You have on the one side these highly motivated commercial entities, and on the other hand, you have cash, who doesn't have anybody everybody uses it, but it doesn't have an official spokesperson, or it doesn't have a marketing department. So it's a kind of an unfair battle.
He came over from Britain to attend a conference at Columbia University in New York. The question on the agenda here, is this the end of cash?
Ever developed this concept of premature champagne?
The conference brought together a select group of financial experts from around the world. None of them...
To understand this is to think about cars versus bicycles. If you're living in a world where there's only bicycles, actually maybe it'll be a good thing to get a car. You can travel further, you can travel faster, but that's different to saying you want to get rid of the ability to use bicycles. Actually, what you want is a world where you have different forms of transport. In a similar way, you want a world where you have different forms of payment. So sometimes in certain situations you can use cash, sometimes digital. But these guys are not calling for that. They're saying we want a world where there's only digital, or in the transport analogy, only cars. You're only allowed to use cars.
When he's traveling, Brett sometimes pays by card, but he mostly prefers to use cash. This machine does accept cash in theory, only right now it appears to be on strike.
You might force me to use my bank account. You have to swipe it instead. It's going to send a message to my bank in England and tell a bunch of stuff to them. They're going to alter all their databases before I can get this thing here. So, and they're going to log this as well. They'll be able to see this. And now there's this third party who's going to watch what I'm doing. So, but this machine's forcing me to do it. Finally, we got it.
So what role does data play in the whole drive to go cashless?
There's a clear agenda going on here, and we mustn't be fooled by that. We're talking about a lot of money. Companies earn a lot from non-cash instruments like credit cards. People don't talk about that much. But they're happy to talk up the cost of cash. What they don't reveal is that non-cash payments also cost money.
Credit card companies like Visa and MasterCard, as well as online payment services like PayPal and the German company PayDirect, earn their money by charging fees for each transaction. In In Germany alone, there are over 20 billion payment transactions a year by credit card or online payment service. It's a global goldmine yielding over €1 trillion a year. Kenneth Rogoff is a professor of economics at Harvard.
2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 2, it say, preach the word, be instant in season and out of season, reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. Verse 5, but watch you in all things. But watch you in all things. Habakkuk chapter 1 verse 5. Behold, ye among the heathen, and regard and wonder marvelously, for I will work a work in your days which you will not believe, even though it be told to you. Haggai chapter 1 verse 6. It say in the B part, but there is none, no. It says, and he that earneth wages to put it in a bag with holes. He that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes. Ezekiel chapter 7 verse 19. They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Lord. Micah chapter 2 verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you even with a sore destruction. Revelation 13 and 17. That no man might buy or sell unless he had the mark. No man might buy or sell unless he had the mark. Revelation 16 and 2. They say, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast. All praises to Yahweh, Hashem Yahushua, Hashem Kakadash. Double honors to the elders pushing the truth. Peace to the elect worldwide. Our kingdom is at hand. Shalom.